Too close. Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope your day's starting well. It's a new year. It's a new day. It's a fresh start, and that's some of what we want to talk about this morning. So, here's my reality. I was sitting in Oregon this last week doing my morning time, and I thought, what are my goals for 2021? What is it I just really want to accomplish? What are some habits? It was really, that morning was more about habits. What are some habits that I know I want in my life? So one of those is a reading habit that I just read at least 30 minutes every day. Another one of those habits that I wanted in my life was to just kind of dump my thoughts every morning and write for 10 minutes every morning. Here's my reality. I had that and I want that, and I know it's something that would add value to my life. And I think I've done it twice.
What's today? Today's the 5th.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, this is something I want to do. This is something that I know would benefit me, and it's something that I want. But why is it that we can have those wants, we can have those desires, and we know they would serve us well, but it is so hard to just really commit and do them and stay.
Well, we even know that when we do them, we get the results we want.
Right.
It still doesn't make it easy to do them.
Yeah.
It's the doing that's the hard part.
Yeah. Well, and I've been thinking the last couple of days, because I've been kind of processing this, failing forward idea, and just kind of this reality that I have one. But I think there's still this, I want that, I think. It's like, do I really want that? Is it when I made that decision, was I all in on that? Was it like, yeah, this would serve me well. Yeah. This is something I would like this year. And
that
it's kind
sounds good.
More of a casual want or wish or hope versus I got to do this. This matters in my life, and this is important in my life. And I think there's a difference between something that we feel, if I don't do something, then my life's falling apart, versus something that would just be a want to or a like.
Yeah.
So how's your year started?
Slowly.
Yes,
I had the same kind of experience. I think we were sort of on vacation and out of state, visiting family over the holidays, which we haven't done in many years. So it was really great, but it was very much out of our routine.
Yeah.
And we didn't get back into our own home until, midnight, 3 days in.
Yeah.
So yesterday was really our first day of the new year, kind of.
Right.
That's kind of how I felt. So I'm doing great so far.
Because you started yesterday.
Because I started yesterday. Yeah. I didn't put start on the 1st in my plan.
So January 5th is the new January 1st?
It was the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was. So I feel pretty good about some of the things that I want to accomplish. One of my big goals this year is that I want to write every day. And that might look different from day to day, but I mean, as far as what I'm writing or where it's being published and things like that. But I want to publish more, be more consistent in those areas. So I did that yesterday.
Yeah. So curious how you're starting, how I know resolutions is kind of this word that it's like, yeah, we don't make resolutions anymore. That's a thing of the past, and yet we all have goals and desires and wants, and maybe we don't call them resolutions, but we have things we want to accomplish. We have commitments we want to make.
Well, I think we no longer talk about resolutions because everyone knows that you don't keep them.
Right.
So you can have that desire, but without having a plan of action and actually doing it, it's just a wish. It's an idea. So calling it a goal, calling it commitment, and those are kind of stronger words, I think, that
and yet they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
it's I have this commitment that I want, or I have this goal I want.
Verbiage. Yeah.
So let's talk for a minute about the whole idea of failing forward. The whole concept of failing forward, because I think failure in and of itself, that word has such a negative connotation to us. We
Nobody
think of
wants to
failure
fail.
from a totally negative perspective and mindset. And yet, when we truly understand failure is our road to success. Now, you're not going to achieve these things. You're not going to, none of us are perfect. And it's not like we woke up and went, hey, I got this thing figured out and it's just, I'm never going to fail. But when we avoid failure, we also don't take action.
For fear of not being perfect.
Well, when we avoid failure for fear of failure, it's like, I may fail, so I'm going to avoid failure, and I set up my own failure to start with. I don't accomplish the thing I wanted. It's predetermined failure.
Right.
But it's okay, somehow acceptable because I chose it versus it happening to me. So the whole idea of failure, when we think of failure as a positive thing, failure isn't failure unless I don't get up. If I don't get back up and I stay down and I quit, now I've truly failed.
Yeah, quitting is really the only true failure.
If I fall down or I missed the day or I failed, what I really got was an education. And I can now fail forward. That failure can help move me toward my goal instead of hinder my goal.
Yeah.
I think that's a hard concept though.
Because the failure is so ingrained in our brain as a negative.
Yeah.
That, I can hear you talking, failure's the road to success. So that sounds fabulous. Still sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still hard. And nobody wants to fail. Nobody wants to go into a goal or a project or a whatever it is with the idea that, I know I'm going to fail, and isn't that awesome? I'm so excited. I'm so excited to fail. Nobody thinks that way. Well, there probably are some people who do think that way, who have truly grasped this concept, because that really is what it is. If we do not try, then we've already failed. If we try, knowing that we're not going to be perfect, and we allow ourselves that room to not be perfect, and if that's what you call failing, then okay.
Yeah.
And you just have to begin to be okay. We're just learning that, to be okay with it not being perfect and failing, so to speak, and learning from it so that the next time I don't do it the same way.
Right.
Maybe I pivot a little bit, or I change this or I change that. And then the next time I'm closer to that success mark. Also, I think it's important to not have such an extreme goal that there's so much failure between where I am right now and where I want to be that it becomes difficult to push through all that.
Well, I think that's why the micro wins are so important. I think that's why there's the goal, but then there's these goals and there's these little wins. But I'm wondering too, I'm wondering too, is if we went into things with the understanding that this achievement is going to require some failure. What if we approached it from the standpoint of how quickly can I accumulate my failures so that I can be at my goal?
Yeah.
It's now I'm not trying to fail, but I'm not afraid of the failures.
Yeah.
I know they have to be there for me to get here. So if I know that, then it's like, okay, that one's done. Where's the next failure? Now that one's done, and I keep moving forward because I know that these failures are stepping stones to this goal. And this goal, if your goal is so huge or so small that it requires no failure, or there's no risk, or there's no, do you really have a goal?
Yeah.
Do you really have a dream? Right. And I think that's where a lot of people are too. The failure keeps us so limited in what we pursue. It's like, I don't want to dream that big because I might fail. Instead of, man, if I could embrace some failure along the way, I could have this instead of this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to embrace. I'm going to have to embrace and accept and be okay with
Yeah.
some failure along the way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people have started the year. They did what I did. They had some desires. And then they quickly had failure or, I just can't do this. And they just kind of throw it away because it's like, see, that's just my reality. I'm never going to lose the weight or boom,
Right.
I'm never going to be able to stay on this, boom,
Yeah.
or I'm never going to be able to follow through.
Yeah, I think that's important that, and I think we pick and choose the things that we give up easily. Because let's say, for example, I have a reading goal. I plan to read or listen to 30 books this year. My goal last year was 24, and I exceeded that goal. So I raised my goal this year to 30. So, did I read yesterday? I did read yesterday, yes. So far today, I haven't read. So let's just say that I miss a few days of reading. Because in order to accomplish 30 books a year, I know what I need to read on a regular basis. I can't wait till November to start reaching my reading goal. So I have that planned out, I have that mapped out of that. I know that if I read every day, that goal will easily be accomplished. So let's say I miss a few days. I don't throw that goal completely out and go, oh, well, see, I just couldn't do it. I could not read every day. So now I'm not going to read anymore the rest of my life. I'm a failure. I could think that way, but I don't. And who does? In a reading goal, put that same thing into a weight loss goal, for example. Say you started a new weight loss plan or diet, and you mess up on a day. You could think, well, here I go. I just can't do this. And you just throw it out the window and go back to the old way of eating. Or you could say, okay, I messed up that meal or that choice. All it takes is just one decision. You're one decision away from being right back on your plan. You don't have to throw it away. Throwing it away is just giving into the failure.
Well, I think a lot of people
learning
do
from
that,
it.
though, because they have a history of not succeeding. So they try it again. And see, that's just who I am. I'll never get this. I'm done. Versus, what do I have to do? Where's something that I can lean into or somebody I can talk to or some way that I can move forward in this that I've not done before? And taking new steps, new learning. Again, failing forward is about learning.
Right.
It's about experiences that teach us. It's about, well, I know not to do that again, or I know not to do that again, or man, this will work, but that didn't.
It kind of relates to that saying about doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That's what we call the definition of insanity, because it doesn't make sense. And yet, many of us do that over and over and over again. It really is what can make you crazy, you know?
But just tweaking something.
Right.
But that failure helps us discover a tweak. It's like, okay, I learned something there. And so if you could embrace, as we start this year, this whole idea of failing forward and learning from those mistakes or learning from that, whatever it was that got you off track. For me, I can tell you right now that one of the reasons I did not do well in the start of some of these things was radical disruption. We have a concept we teach called radical disruption. And my environment and the context in which I will thrive in those was disrupted. We were in Oregon. We were in a foreign context. Oregon foreign. It's not a foreign land, a foreign context. My habits were out of context.
Yeah.
And so when that context is disrupted, it's hard to initiate. Now back in my routine, back in my patterns, my environment, my context. So what did I learn? So I learned that I need this environment for these habits.
This structure.
And that's going to help me succeed.
Yeah, a lot of the structure is geographical or environmental. Yeah.
So what kind of things can you do this year to help you move forward? Embrace some failure. Embrace some failure. Don't make it a negative thing, make it a positive thing. Those failures are your stepping stones. Those failures are your gifts to your goals and your achievement. What else you got? Anything?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's a new year. It's a fresh start, 2020's history. It is time for us to step in, move forward, move on with this year, and let's make the best of it. Let's go live our dreams. Let's not live in the failure. Let's use the failure to move us forward. Let's go fail forward. All right?
That's good.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next week.
Take care.